What up, y'all? It's your guy Dawson from D&D TV. Thank you for rating, commenting, and subscribing. Everybody who's donated, those of you all who will, you know I appreciate it. All that information is in the description box below. Make sure you go to my other YouTube channel, Dawson Speaks, subscribe over there, and hit the little bell next to the subscribe button so you get notifications when I drop a new video. Now let's get into this topic. Alright y'all, thanks for clicking on the video. Hope everyone is doing well. Now as I approach these stories with respect, I want you all to be respectful in the comments section, please. Alright y'all, now this story is coming out of Georgia. Finally, a story that's not from Florida, thank God. A Georgia pastor is accused of false imprisonment after police said he was keeping at least 8 people against their will in his home about an hour south of Atlanta. According to the Griffin Police Department, Pastor Curtis Bankston and his wife Sophie were using their residence as an unlicensed group home, and they locked people who were staying there in a basement. Now listen to this. Most of the people living in the basement had mental or physical disabilities. Take a breath. This is what the man of God is doing. The pastor, good old pastor and first lady. Let me go on. Now, the discovery was made about the people being in the basement when paramedics had to come to the home last week to respond to a call of someone in the basement having a seizure. When the first responders got to the home, they noticed that the door to the basement was dead bolted and they had to get into the basement through the window at the pastor's house. When the paramedics got inside of the basement, they were appalled at what they saw and they contacted the police. An investigation found that the pastor and his wife allegedly operated an unlicensed personal care facility under the guise, listen to this, under the guise of the church known as One Step of Faith Second Chance. Take a breath. The pastor created this fake group home, halfway house, put the church's name on it in order to do people like this. I need you all to really think, because these stories are not made up. And many of you, especially you people who are religious zealots, you don't want to know the truth about what's going on in many of these religious institutions. So you attack me, you attack the media, you attack people who report, but no one says anything about this man and his wife. Touch not my anointed. Oh, they get touched over here. Because look at the people that they are hurting. People who have physical and mental disabilities. And no one has anything to say about the victims except for we need to pray. Well, I'm all prayed up. It's time to do something about it. And I'm glad the police are doing something about it. Let me go on. The police stated that Pastor Bankston and his wife Sophie were in control of the disabled individual's finances, medication, and public benefits. Some of the people were also denied medication and medical care. I'm going to say that again. Some of the individuals in the basement were denied medication and medical care. Police said that the individuals in the home that ranged between the ages of 23 and 65 were placed by the Department of Human Services in suitable care and housing. Pastor Bankston was arrested, and he and his wife, First Lady, could face more charges, according to the police department. Now, I'm going to let you all watch this video, and I'll be back with the rest of my commentary, and you all know me, I'm Dawson, and I won't hold back.
A pastor in Griffin arrested and charged with false imprisonment. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Ron Jones.
And I'm Jennifer Bellamy. Griffin police tell 11 Alive the pastor and his wife were using their home as an unlicensed group home. And a recent investigation found people were being locked in their basement. Joe Hinkie in Griffin for us tonight after speaking with the pastor and his neighbors.
Well, Jennifer, that pastor is out of jail tonight. Meanwhile, Griffin police behind me began investigating last week when Griffin firefighters responded to the home in question about a person having a seizure. They noticed a door to the basement was dead bolted, and they actually had to go through a window to get into the basement to get to that patient, and based on what they saw, they then contacted police. Griffin police have accused Curtis Bankston of keeping 8 individuals in the basement of this home and at times locking them in. Police told 11 Alive the individuals range in age from 23 to 65. Most, if not all, are mentally or physically disabled and cannot care for themselves. Bankston would only talk with us off camera tonight, but confirmed this is the website for his church, One Step of Faith Ministries, and he identified himself as the pastor. He said at his home he runs One Step of Faith Second Chance, an extension of his church. Griffin police called it an unlicensed group home or personal care facility. According to information released by the police department, with a search warrant, investigators determined Bankston was responsible for locking individuals in the home's basement with assistance from his wife. Police claim the pair have leased the home for more than a year, controlled the individuals' finances, and at times denied them medication and medical care.
I was surprised, heartbroken that would happen so close to our home.
Kim Brooks lives across the street. She says herself and others in the neighborhood did not know what was taking place in Bankston's home, but there were concerns.
You could tell there were more people there than probably should be there, just even based on the amount of trash that they had every week.
She recalled one night a man with a walker who appeared lost came to her door. He was looking for Bankston's home. She helped him get there. Remembers he said he had to enter the home from the backside and he walked around, which to her seems strange.
But it makes me sad that he could have been in a situation where he was not being taken care of.
That neighbor says even though she lived across the street for more than a year from the Bankstons, she never met them. All of the people, or most of the people, staying at this home, we are told, were wards of the state. All of them have now been placed, according to the state, in new facilities. Meanwhile, Griffin police tell us charges could be coming against Bankston's wife. Bankston himself, even though he wouldn't talk with us tonight, said he would meet tomorrow for an interview with his attorney by his side. Jennifer?
All right. Some very disturbing accusations there, Joe. Thank you so much.
All right, y'all, let's go in. But before I go in, did y'all hear that neighbor? Y'all know our neighbors can be very nosy. That neighbor said they had a lot of trash there. Now, Pastor, I don't know how you and the First Lady thought y'all were going to get away with this with neighbors like that who said y'all had too much trash. Oh, my God. Let me go on. Now, the Griffin Police Department did release a statement about this particular situation, and they said that it is both frightening and disgusting to see the degree to which individuals have been taken advantage of by people who were in a position of trust. That means pastors, teachers, people, pillars of the community, all right? They also went on to say that the city of Griffin, along with DHS, will continue to use every resource available to ensure that this does not happen again. Now, many of you have been watching my show for quite some time now, and some of you are new here. And for the new people, I want you to go back and watch my old videos so you can see how I flow. The people who know what I do over here, because I've been doing this for years, they know that I get very passionate when people bother or mess with or hurt the most vulnerable of our society, which are the children, the elderly, people with mental and physical disabilities. Then we're going toe to toe. I'm also passionate because when I first came to Miami, you or some of you who've been following me for years, I told you this, I worked in a group home with people who had developmental disabilities. And those people, they were just like my heartstring, man. They had my heart, and I was an advocate for them. And after I finished and went on and got higher education, I started, representing and being an advocate for them inside the courtroom in Miami-Dade, going against people who wanted to take their benefits or people when they didn't, treat them right. They had to get out of one group home and go to another one. So I see this a little different, you all, because I'm out there in the field. I'm not just up here on YouTube trying to be a big old YouTube star. Y'all got to catch my heart. Now, for those of you all who want those YouTubers who want to be famous and all that kind of stuff, unsubscribe from me because that's not what I'm here for. Over here, we speak the truth. And I really need some of you all to get that. Over here, Dawson speaks the truth. We don't spill tea and we don't sip it. We eat the truth. All right? Let me go on. Anyone who's ever worked at a group home or foster care home or any care facility, we all know that you cannot put a deadbolt lock on a door to lock a client, a patient, inside a room or inside a certain area of the house. You can't do that. You can't put lock the refrigerator or the cabinets and stuff like that where the food is. They have to have open access to that if they want a snack. We all know that. And for this pastor, this man of God who gets up every Sunday and preach the word to do this and not have a conscience that he has people, 8 people, you all, locked inside his basement. That's demonic. Now, y'all always want to talk about what's demonic and that's it. That's a prime example. I'm going to leave you all with this. This pastor and his wife were able to get away with this because they didn't see these individuals as human beings. They didn't see them as children of God, people of God, God's people. And many times when situations like this arise in the institution, the church, people defend the pastor and the first lady. They come to their defense. But they don't think about the other people, the victims, because they don't see them as children of God, people of God. You know, I have an Aunt Deb who's out in California, and she feeds the homeless, several times a week. And she gets up there and she's on live and she'll like, hey, y'all, I'm out here feeding God's people. I'm out here feeding God's people. And I'm like, oh, who is she talking about? She at the church or somewhere? And then one day it dawned on me. She see these homeless people in her heart, in her mind. These are the people of God. And some of these pastors, these leaders, they don't, y'all, I don't even feel like going on with this. Y'all wake up. Wake up. Until next time, it's your guy Dawson. Take care of yourself and each other. Go off in the comments. Let me know what you think about this video. Peace. Oh, another thing. Let me say this before I go. Pastor, I saw that you and your wife had a big spread out for Thanksgiving. Y'all had sweet potato pie, a table full of cakes. Y'all had greens, yams, macaroni and cheese, ham, all that good food. I wonder, Pastor, did any of the people in the basement get a plate? Y'all, be good. Take care of yourself and each other. Peace.